we're experiencing like such disharmony, such tension in the body, and so many people are struggling.
You get taught like a mismatched anatomical model that doesn't actually have any relation to real life. We end up making ourselves sick and making each other sick. Your breath is like the foundation for everything.
I feel high, Aaron.
What's it like?
It's very strange. We are about to meet my dear friend, Aaron Alexander. Aaron is somebody I've known for many years now. We met back in the day in LA in my early biohacking days. If you've been here for a while, you would know that in the beginning, I would make videos about health and wellness and a lot of biohacking stuff. And that's how we kind of connected. Aaron is like a master of the mind and the body and how to align yourself for optimal health and well-being. He's just all around just like Greek god energy, and he's always ripped. I've never known him not to be like in tip-top shape at all times, and he just knows what's up when it comes to health and wellness. So we are going to go and meet him today. He's going to take me through a little session to like align my physical body, which is very needed. I've been traveling, I've been working a lot. I feel like this is just like exactly what I'm calling in right now. And then we are going to sit down for a full interview and just talk to him about how do we really align ourselves for optimal health and well-being. Let's go see Aaron. Hello.
Oi.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm about to hang up this thing, but Lucy might come and go.
Okay, let's say hi to Lucy. Hi! This is Lucy?
This is Lucy, yeah. She's a foster dog. I've had her for 2.5 months.
Hi! Okay, so what are you wearing on your ankles?
Oh, these are just like decompression.
You have all the contraptions. All right.
All right, we're in.
Wow.
This is my makeshift little outdoor garden.
I definitely want to try this.
It's so nice.
That looks great.
Lucy,
you
that's
just
not what
wanted
we're
to
doing.
terrify me.
That's not what we're doing.
Whoa! Wow! She wants to be on camera. She wants to be the star of the show.
For the last 2.5 months, or like 2 months, she's been nothing but just like a little angel. And now I think she's becoming like more confident. And she's like, okay, this is who I am.
She's owning her wild woman. Where shall we begin?
What are you experiencing?
My left shoulder, I keep having this chronic thing that comes back, this tightness here, and it will be like challenging to turn my neck. So I don't know what's going on with that.
How do you feel like you generally feel? Like your baseline, do you feel like you run a little bit more high amplitude, anxious, go-getter, kind of like, oh my God, I always feel like I have this like endless to-do list, right? You know, I'm always kind of like a little bit behind. Do you feel like at ease, like, oh my
More
God,
the first one.
Yeah.
But I've gotten better, Aaron. I've gotten better.
So notice your breath, just for a moment, take a moment and just breathe, and notice where does breath feel easy for you? Because this is gonna be a really major deal, and then we can talk about why it matters. Cool. So notice this. Not today, Lucy! When you first started breathing, I noticed your breath was significantly more like coming from up here. So this is a little bit more, you call this like zone 2 breathing.
Okay.
And it's a little bit more like get her done type range. If you're breathing up in here, like zone 3 breathing up into the neck, that's like nitrous boost. We're like, oh my God, you know, we're Richtering, we gotta get stuff done. We're
Fight or
freaking out, we're
flight.
like,
Yeah.
If you're breathing down laterally through the sides of the ribs and you're breathing 3-dimensionally, that's an indication that your nervous system is calm. Then suddenly you open up and you have access to all this new energy. I want your breath to go out this way. Good. Big breath, side, 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 side. Yes, you're activating all this side body stuff. Beautiful.
Takes a lot of effort
I know,
to breathe like that.
because you haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a full breath. Because your breath is the bridge to the mind and the body. A tool you can play with to come back in like more calming state is emphasizing a longer exhalation. Oh. Everything out. Out. Keep going. Keep going. All of it out. And out. And then hold at the bottom once you get to the bottom. Hold. Whenever you get to the bottom. And once you go a little bit beyond what feels comfortable, which it might be already to that point, take a deep breath in through the nose. To the sides of the ribs, sides of the ribs, sides of the ribs. And then sigh it out. A little faster. This is like the OG yoga practice. Yoga means use or yoke or union or integration or connection. And the whole function of all of the asana movement practice is to like shake out your wiggles and find alignment in yourself enough that you're able to actually sit in stillness. You just sitting with yourself.
Thanks for reminding me. This is what I need to be doing.
This is the real
it's
shit.
So simple.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm like ready to do all this extravagant body work and all your contraptions, and it's just actually
do nothing.
Breathing.
Yeah. So all of the extravagant stuff is only relevant if it comes back into actually developing a deeper relationship with your own nervous system. And so if you're doing a bunch of like workout stuff, you're just deepening the grooves of those positions that are actually causing you stress.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
So lay down for a second.
Okay.
So as I'm going through here, I can feel, and you can notice it as well, your shoulder doesn't want to let go. So the traps and such are kind of like, almost like there's like an injury it's protecting. Maybe this is a metaphor for like control or whatever, or maybe not, right? But regardless, it'll be a process of you reteaching this shoulder how to relax and trust another person to passively guide you.
Okay.
And then that will start to free up a lot of bandwidth for your own nervous system to actually be able to heal itself. Is it okay that I'm contacting all these?
It's fine.
Okay,
It's
cool.
just kind of ticklish.
Promise not to go too boobish.
My boobs are small, so there's
Nice.
There's plenty of space.
Nice.
I feel like where you're pressing, there's stored tension. I can feel how it's all connected. Where I've been having this shoulder pain, I can feel how everything that you're doing is completely connected to it.
Yeah, we get taught like a mismatched anatomical model that doesn't actually have any relation to real life. So the idea of like a two-dimensional textbook like lever system of the body has nothing to do with the body. It's just for education. And then your breath is like the foundation for everything. If you're breathing in such a way that's causing you to chronically be in a place of like stress, you also probably experience like a tight jaw and a tight neck and a tight, a lot of things. And now we're going to get into the wrist, because again, just like the rib cage and the diaphragm and all this stuff is going to be tied to the shoulder, so is the wrist and the hand. So you can feel a lot of tension in here. Lucy, that's very nice, but loosers.
Lucy is assisting the healing with kisses.
No, that's not what we're doing. You're completely out of control. This is like the beginning of a much longer journey for you, but hopefully what this is for you is kind of like a beginning of like, oh shit, there's a bunch of tension that I've been carrying around in my body.
Oh, I can feel it. Unwinding.
Good.
It's like you just are knowing exactly what to do. Like, how long did it take you to just... It's like you're not even thinking about what you're doing. It's just like...
Yeah, this is like
instinct.
Yeah, this is like around like 18,000 of going through this with somebody. So it's like 15 years of body work and then 20 years of training and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just like seeing patterns with people. You need work up around the neck as well, because I can see it.
Yeah.
It's not like I can see your aura. It's like I can literally see tension in the shoulder and see a place where you're kind of grabbing a little bit still.
Yeah.
This is more like the masculine, like I need to control, I need to get these going, and usually it's coming from a place of like, for a person, it's usually like feeling a little bit out of control. But if we feel a little bit out of control, then we're like, oh, I gotta control. And then we move around the world like that.
The masculine in my family, I feel like it's all connected to this shoulder thing. It's so interesting.
I don't personally have like a super deep, strong relationship to if you have a shoulder thing on your left side, it means you have some specific relational thing with your grandma. But it's very clear that if you are holding on to some psycho-emotional tension of any sort, I feel afraid. I'm bracing because I'm not sure if I can pay my rent. I'm not sure about, I'm in a relationship that feels unstable. My heart feels closed. I think they're cheating on me. I don't feel deserving. I feel out of place. I feel out of alignment. All of that stuff causes the whole body to go, and all of it's rooted in fear. And if a person can feel completely, impeccably safe and secure and loved and in alignment with their community, in alignment with themselves, in alignment with their purpose, the nervous system, in a global way, is able to go, oh fuck, everything's good.
Wow.
And now suddenly we can digest and we can heal. If you don't believe that, you just haven't experienced being a human in a deep enough way. I don't think that's like a very hard thing to to grasp.
That the mind and the body's connected.
Sigh it out.
Whoa.
Does it really feel that different?
It feels so different.
Oh, cool.
It feels
What's it
like
feel like?
so much more space.
Great.
I feel high, Aaron.
Hey, you're just like chilling.
Yeah.
Your nervous system's like, oh, I'm safe. Okay.
It all starts with a breath.
Good work.
That was awesome.
Good.
Wow. Like you really have had like 18,000 hours or whatever it is. Okay. There's so many questions that I have now.
Yeah.
So we were gonna do this whole sit-down interview where just go into this conversation, and then the bodywork session was so life-changing. And I'm like, can we do more of that? So now this is turning into like podcast interview whilst more bodywork.
I'm here for it.
So what are we doing next?
We're gonna flip you upside down.
Great.
Bring your hips on my feet, and then just lie in, legs wide, hang.
So I'm gonna try and like ask questions while we're doing this.
Might be too hard.
How did you get into this field? When did it all start for you? Where you just really got into learning about the body?
Being super insecure growing up, scrawny, crooked teeth,
You were scrawny?
super scrawny,
No way, bro.
super crooked teeth.
I never known you as
A
scrawny.
sick bowl cut.
Oh,
My
nice.
mom would cut it, so it was like very like misaligned. So then I started this whole path towards alignment.
The aligned method.
Feeling like I needed to compensate by getting jacked as soon as I possibly could, feeling really insecure, and then that getting jacked turned into hurting myself, and then it became like a path of starting to put the pieces back together. And so that became going to school for rolfing, going to school for massage therapy, going to school for, all the different modalities of body work and getting different types of training, and just putting the pieces back together. Kind of like we're doing right now.
This is insane. So now you're like a super master body worker person, and you work with all these incredible people, athletes and celebrities and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Out of everybody that you've worked with, all these people, what's the core pattern where people are struggling or holding tension?
I think probably the core thing with most people, particularly working with like, kind of grab this foot, particularly working with like celebrity type people, but just people in general, like all human beings. But celebrities have even more of a reason to feel guarded, and unsafe, to feel safe in relationships. Are people using me? Am I lovable? Am I worthy? And can I just like relax my nervous system? You gotta turn your... Yeah, good, we're done.
I've done this before a couple times, baby.
Hey, you're into it. Yeah, so I think one of the biggest roots for people would be like emotional guarding.
Yeah.
Like feeling safe to love and be loved. And then from there, the next big thing is just like the lifestyle that we're living in makes us more guarded naturally. Living a life that feels like purposeful. I think it's a big thing if a person feels like they're in purpose and in alignment with themselves, and like what they're put here to do. I think that's a big relief. So many people feel like they're living a life in misalignment. And I think that creates a feeling of like angst and tension.
Wait, this shoulder thing is crazy.
Oh yeah, why?
Oh my god. It's actually so painful, but it feels like the hurt so good pain where you're like, oh my goodness, all the tension that's in here. I feel the knots just like are being completely unknotted in the most peaceful way.
Good, I love that.
Ah!
And then the other thing I think is just people spend too much freaking time inside. Mm-hmm. And so if people were just to spend less time inside, get more natural sunlight, and take the damn shoes off, like expose their feet to the ground.
Take off the foot prisons,
take
people.
off the foot prisons. And then you need to get off chairs. You need to take walks regularly. Bring your hands to your ankles, and then point your feet straight. Yeah, so you need to get out of chairs and spend time.
What are we doing?
Spend time moving around. Go into a back bend.
Like this?
Yeah. Yeah, so get off chairs, take a walk every hour, spend time on the ground. If you look at cultures that don't have much incidence of osteoarthritis in their hips and knees, have little to no pelvic floor dysfunction, the adult diaper industry has exceeded that of the baby diaper industry. So there's more
Industry has exceeded.
Yeah, there's more money in preventing adults from peeing their pants than there is in children.
But that's because we're sitting too much.
Yeah, we're atrophying the muscles around our pelvic floor, so we're not able to hold our piss. All that stuff could be completely sorted out if we just would live more natural lifestyles. And a more natural lifestyle, you're just moving around more.
Yeah, it's actually so simple. It's so funny.
All right, what other hard-hitting questions do you have?
I mean, I wanted to ask you about the aligned method. What is the thesis of it? How do you... I know you wrote a whole book that people should read.
The thesis of the aligned method is making it so that your whole life, like your day-to-day life, is an opportunity for fitness, as opposed to fitness being like a thing that you do in a gym. It's how do you start to integrate that into your daily life. And so teaching people simple exercises on how they can like human better. If you're moving around the world in a way where your breath is kind of like you're practicing a state of stress or a state of anxiety, then you have no choice but to be reproducing that state in the way that you produce your hormones and all of the bits. That would be it, like the core foundation of everything within the Align method is first we start off and figuring out like, are we breathing well? A part of that would be using your nose for breathing instead of your mouth.
I do have a question about that.
Yeah.
When it comes to breath work.
Yeah.
I know that you are a proponent of the nostril breathing because it does put us more into that parasympathetic state. But there are, plenty of breathwork practices where you're breathing through the mouth, or that's what's advised.
Yeah.
So is that just that it's a much more activating breath?
Yeah, so if you're doing like a Wim Hof style
exactly.
breathing or something of the sort, you're mimicking like a max degree kind of freak out. So you're taking your nervous system through this really strong sympathetic response where it's like it would be comparable to if you were up at the top of a big mountain and you were up at high elevation and you're like working really hard, you'd be like you're taking your nervous system in that place.
Because it does something when you do it. Like you
Does a lot of
can
things.
feel your whole body tingling.
Yeah.
You feel the emotions come out. Do you think there's danger to that method? Is just they're just too different? There's different purposes.
If you're doing it too much, you can make your body less efficient at actually distributing the oxygen to your muscles. If you keep on, you'll start to feel lightheaded. And what that lightheadedness is, among probably other things, but one of the main things it's suggested is it's actually your brain is starting to be cut off from oxygen. So it's taking you into this kind of like disassociative, almost like pseudo psychedelic type experience.
Yes.
If you do that in small bits, it can be really cool because it's in a safe container. So think of the time that you would breathe like that. You'd probably breathe like that in a way where you are being attacked, like something, bad happened. Mm-hmm. You're taking yourself into that same or similar nervous system state in a safe container where you're well resourced and you can kind of like reprocess the things that might come to the surface. And then you finish, typically with most of those techniques, like the Wim Hof, you'd finish with a long extended exhalation and a breath hold, and you're kind of like tuning the nervous system now back down into like a calming, down regulated state. But that if you go deeper into it, it can enter into kind of like this like somatic release type space where it can like draw up maybe tensions that you've been holding, like psycho-emotional tensions. And if you do it too much, it can end up actually making your body less efficient at distributing oxygen.
So you're saying that because it's kind of triggering that sympathetic
Yes.
nervous system state, is that why people have like trauma come up
Yes.
to process, because they're triggering that
Yes.
fight or flight response by breathing that way, that it's like
Yeah.
reactivating and you're almost triggering yourself for it to come up. But then often people say that it was deeply healing for them to have that trauma come up and be released and be felt, and
Yeah.
then you're regulating yourself back into safety.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
So it's almost like you're tuning into that channel within your nervous system of stress, trauma, oh shit. It's almost like muscle memory in a way. It's drawing up that psycho-emotional, physiological state of, oh my God, we're under a lot of stress right now.
I feel like you're a very grounded person in the way that you think about things, see the world. You also have such a scientific background and lens to look at things through, yet you're also like deeply in the esoteric and spiritual realms as well. What is the consistent type of spiritual practice that you are doing or way of seeing reality that you most resonate with?
I feel like there's like a binary nature of things, love on one side and fear on another side. I think it's a process of reducing the fear to create space for more love. Like that's the real thing. Like it is absolutely terrifying to open your heart. And if you're in a conversation with someone and you have a knee-jerk reaction to like harden and close down and like and like that makes you feel temporarily strong, you're actually scared in that situation. You're blocking up your fear that you're living with and you're blocking it with anger because anger feels more powerful. But underneath all of that, there's like actually a foundation of love and compassion. It's all you need to do, because you are inherently love, is just seek the aspects of yourself where you're closing and you're blocking. Like that's like the work. Where am I closing right now? Where is my heart closed? Where am I too much of a, I was gonna say pussy, but whatever, to like open my heart, you know? And so
we don't use that word in that way, Aaron, anymore.
We don't use that word. Pussy's very strong, very resilient. It's very resilient genitalia.
Exactly. It's so simple. Like the body's so simple.
It's so simple.
We're holding on to fear, we create disease. When we open to love and release fear, we create harmony and balance.
Yes.
And fluidity and expansion and letting go and releasing and clearing the resistance to open and allow the love that is already inherently present.
I have an interview with Robert Sapolsky tomorrow. He wrote Why Zebras Don't Get Ulcers, which is kind of like this conversation. One of the things I was hearing him talking about was we've had, and this is just I think obvious, but we've had the same stress response and the same system and the same cortisol and the same noradrenaline, all the different things. Like that same system has been functioning since the beginning of ever. And so forever throughout history, you get juiced up with this adrenaline and cortisol and all the different stress hormones to say like, okay, we're going to fight right the heck now, or I'm going to run the heck out of here. But I'm mobilizing all of my connective tissue, and that's why blood gets shunted out from the viscera. And so instead of having to move ourselves to gather food, or move ourselves to build shelter, or move ourselves to take care of our kids, we instead are stuck in the same seated position all day long. And the way that we ameliorate that stress response now is through looking into our phones, checking our notifications, checking our emails, pouring ourselves back into some kind of computer work thing, unless you're lucky enough to be a person that actually still uses their body. But a person that still uses their body is becoming like a relic. The idea of like a person that uses their body.
This happens so fast in the grand scheme of this long human history you're describing. Is this transition feels like it has happened so quickly, this technological revolution. So the same system we've been running on is we're needing to evolve, but we can't evolve quickly enough to match the pace at which the technological revolution has evolved.
Yes.
So we're experiencing like such disharmony and like such tension in the body, and so many people are struggling. Even people who are healthy, I'm a healthy person that takes care of my body. I generally, eat really well. I'm exercising, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing the things, and you can see it's like all this tension up in my body that because I'm in my phone, I'm on technology, it's like, and I'm trying to figure out how do I like move with this new world that we're in, and also for what I do and my passion and my dharma, like how do I do this in a way that's harmonious with my body and mind and spirit? And I think we're all navigating how to do that.
We have access to all of this sugar and all the food and all this like comfort and comfy chairs and all that stuff, and we're indoors all the time, and but like we're becoming sick, and if we don't actually have the stressors of the world to engage with, and we have this extra time on our hands, we're so smart, we've gotten almost like too smart, and humans particularly, we've outsourced so much of our time, we have all this free time on our hands, we end up making ourselves sick and making each other sick because we have all this extra like energy. It's kind of like the dog. She just wants to be full dog. Like she just wants to run out and just like be a shepherd. And that's what she really desires. And because throughout the day, she's been like, I've been doing stuff, I did a bunch of interviews, whatever, I haven't been able to like attend to her to the degree that she wants. She's like, Gah! Like freaking out. It's like, oh, like bad dogs. Like, it's not bad dog, it's bad environment.
It's like when you put kids in a classroom and they're acting out.
Yeah.
No wonder why they want to run
it's
around
not
with
bad.
children
It's not
play.
bad kid. It's bad environment.
100%.
And so if you can start to integrate a few environmental shifts into your daily life, like right now we're doing this conversation, which is so, sweet, and like human connection and relationships is like one of the most, if not the most important thing for your health.
And we're under a gorgeous tree that I've been looking at this
the
whole time. I'm
tree-
obsessed with this tree. Like,
It-
looking at the tree is legit healing. As I'm laying here
100%.
getting bodywork, I'm just looking at this majesty.
So you're looking at the tree. So
Yeah.
so like your eyes, your eyeballs are like the windows to your brain, and like they actually physically are your brain. And when you relax your eyes and go into the panoramic view, you are sending a signal to your autonomic nervous system that, okay, cool, like if we're taking in the panorama right now, forever and ever in history, I'm probably sitting atop of a hill, or I'm just gazing out into the distance and reflecting. I'm probably not being chased by like a predator. Shifting your environment, just placing yourself in the nature, that's one of the most healing things a person can do.
So we have one more activity that we're going to do that I'm very excited about. I'm looking at whatever the contraption is.
Oh, you want to do the boots?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's do the boots. The boots are funny.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
And we're gonna hook you up. It's gonna be cute. And we're doing this just because you specifically want to do it. This is not something that I'm like
This isn't
recommending.
like part of the aligned
It's
method.
like this is a part of the thing. This is literally just like we're just being a silly goose.
Ow. Ow! My skin! I'm scared.
You're gonna do great, friend. And hook your feetsies up there.
How
got
the
this.
fuck do I do that, Aaron?
You're a strong, empowered woman.
God damn, I don't do pull-ups. Don't do pull-ups.
All right, we'll pull up. Yep, get the little footsie up there. Yep, good. And the other little footsie.
Wait.
You hook it in there. Good.
There we go.
Now hook the other one in. Good. Hook that bitch. Good. Now, yeah, your toes.
I'm gonna
You're good.
fall my
You're
head,
fine.
right?
You're fine. Good. Let everything hang.
Whoa! Oh, it's kind of scary.
No, it's not scary. You're fine.
So what does this
Fine.
do?
It's good for decompression of things. It just feels good. Recirculation. If you just lay yourself upside down or do a headstand or something like that, it's going to calm your nervous system down a little bit. And you could do some sit-ups. It's a fun thing. If you get some curls, get some ab action.
Oh man, that's
Work.
hard.
There you go.
Damn.
There you go.
Yay!
Good shit. Nice work. You moon booted. I don't think that's actually what it's called.
I like the moon boots. I feel actually so different than how I walked in
I bet.
terms of my whole, not just how my body feels, but my mind, everything, my nervous system.
Cool.
But more of a letting go of control that I think was what we worked on through my shoulder. It really, like you said, you just picked up on it so quickly that it kind of has to do with control in some way, of
Yeah.
like needing to control reality.
It can be a very literal thing where I'm just like, ugh, and I'm just like tense, and the way that I respond to that is like more control because I want to feel safe. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like this deep, esoteric, like, oh, it's control in my life, and it's like out there. It's like it can be very like embodied, like, oh yeah, like I'm trying to control because I really desire to feel safe.
Yeah, and I think it can be also deep and esoteric too.
Well, it is. Yeah, it just doesn't need to be. You can go as deep with anything as you want, but it also can be very like on the nose, present, right now, tangible, like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So if you want to leave everybody who's watching with one thing that they can take away, that's like the one thing you want them to remember, what would that be?
If I were going to die, which I will for sure, the things that would be the most probably pertinent to me would probably not be so much like, business stuff or money or like accomplishments or anything. It would really just be around the level of openness and compassion and connection I allowed myself to have with myself and those around me. Open yourself up, like be courageous enough to open yourself up.
That's mic drop right there. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Appreciate you. Thanks for healing me.